Namaste and welcome. It is Rishi here from meditatewithrishi.com, and today we are speaking about how to say no without feeling guilty. What is the framework for a perfect no? The 5 components for a perfect no. Okay, so this is, yesterday I did a video on how to be okay with saying no. So if you haven't watched that, you can watch that. This week we've been speaking about purpose, about goal setting, about creating your dream life. And for all of this to happen, the art of saying no is so important. Warren Buffett has this amazing quote where he says that the difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no to almost everything. They say no to almost everything because they have to. They have to, right? So this is the thing. But you're watching this video because you have a conscience. You don't like to say no because you don't want to offend or hurt the other person, right? We care about other people's feelings, and this is why there's so much resistance when it comes to saying no. So what I want to share with you today are 5 components that will to craft the perfect no, and just how to say it. How to say it, how do you deliver something, okay? So let's get into it. The first one, number 1, is do not lie. Do not lie, do not make up excuses. When you lie, you know this, right? When you lie, even a small lie, it creates guilt. This guilt eats you up inside. The more you lie over time, more and more guilt. Just not good for your inner peace, okay? Secondly, if you lie, you will get caught in your own web of lies. So, for example, if someone says to you, come for my party tonight, and you say, oh, sorry, I can't come tonight because of X excuse. What if they turn around and say, okay, no worries, I'm doing something at my place 2 days, on the weekend, you have to come for that. Now what are you going to do? Come up with another excuse? Like you'll have to go, right? So first you lie, you feel bad about it, and then you still have to go. Like you don't make things easier for yourself, right? Instead, it's better to be honest. So, I'll give you an example from my life, and I'll use this through the video. So, one of the things that I do not do anymore is make plans after 6 p.m. Okay? Because I wake up really early, to do my practice, and I value my evening more now. I want to chill. I want to wind down nicely, do some practice. Like it's become really important for me. So I just don't make plans, because if you say yes to one thing, then you have to say yes to so many things. So this is it's a rule. I don't do it, okay? Now, initially, like saying no to dinners and things like that, it was tough because, you're not used to it. And you don't want to hurt people. It's like, what do you mean you're not coming for dinner? Like, what kind of a person, like, what are you saying, right? People don't get it. And I don't expect them to get it. It's not like So the one thing I learned is just don't lie. Just be very honest, right? So now I'll say something like, look, because of my practice, because of what I'm doing, I do not make plans after 6 p.m. Okay, I just don't do dinners anymore or anything else. So if I really want to see this person, I'll say, how about we do this? How about we have lunch? How about we have, we do this? And, the people that I meet frequently, like in my life, like my friends, they just know, right? And that's the plans that we make. End of story. It just becomes a thing. So don't lie. In the long term, it will work out in your favor to not lie, because then you just will not have to lie again. Because the same situation will keep presenting itself, and you just have a very simple, honest way of dealing with it, and that makes your life much easier. Okay, so that's it. So rule number one is do not lie, do not make excuses. Okay. Number 2 is explain why you're saying no, okay? But keep it short and sweet, okay? Short and sweet. So short and sweet. Short because, you want, like, you don't need to over-explain yourself. If you over-explain yourself, like, give them like a massive sob story about why you can't do something, that person will question why you're going into that much detail. It's just not needed, okay? And sweet because that's the way to do it, to say it nicely and politely. Because when you say no, it doesn't mean that you love the person any less. It just means that where you are with the priorities and things in your life right now, that's not an option for you to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. The people that love you will understand that, right? So it's totally fine. And actually making it a point to actually be polite, speak with loving kindness, it reduces the stress from your side as well. Just the fact that you've been polite about saying no will remove so much guilt from you, right? In fact, these first two, don't lie and speak sweetly, speak with loving kindness, these are the first two rules of, of yoga, right? So this is a great place for me to say this. For my coaching clients, I've created something really cool called a peace cheat sheet. The 11 yogic rules for daily peace, okay? Hint, number 1 and 2 are what we just discussed. And there's 9 others. Simple rules like this that will increase the amount of peace that you feel every single day. So if you want to get that, it's a really cool cheat sheet. I'll link it in the description box below, okay? All right, so number 1, don't lie. Number 2, keep it short and sweet. Short and sweet makes you feel good about it. It makes them feel comfortable because they're like, okay, this guy, he's speaking the truth. Great, I'll take that. Number 3, this is really important. Number 3 is be assertive. Make your no assertive, okay? The reason assertive doesn't mean like rude, right? Because we're being polite. But it means that that person should know this no is a no. There's no wiggle room here in this no. Because it is the nature of a lot of people to be very persistent. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's just their nature to be very persistent. And if you are weak, them being persistent can break you. Them being persistent can turn your no into a yes. And then like you get anxiety because you don't want to do this thing, but you've now committed to it, right? So it's really important to be assertive. And don't worry, no matter how many times someone asks you. If someone's being really pushy, right? And they keep asking you that, come on, do this, or they may guilt you into doing it, right? Like, for example, if someone could say to me, as an example, that, oh, you can't come for dinner, so you don't have time for your family. And first of all, for someone to say something like that, it means that they don't care about what's important to me, right? The people who really care about you, they will never guilt you into doing something. The only people that guilt you into doing something are people that, do they actually care about you? Maybe that's a question you need to ask yourself, okay? So, okay, getting back to the point, you need to be assertive. Be assertive that no. If they ask you 10 times politely, you can say no, no, no. Look, I know that you're not a person that takes no for an answer, but where I am right now, I'd love to do what you ask me, but I can't do it. I just can't do it. So please, accept that I can't do it, okay? So that's number 3, be assertive. Number 4 is that you always have the option, you don't have to, you always have the option to provide an alternative, So if someone asks you for help, okay, you want to help this person, but you don't have the time physically in your calendar, you can say something like, look, I want to help you, I can't do it like in the way that you're asking, but how about this? How about I point you to these resources or point you to this person and you can get some help from there. Great, win-win situation, right? Or if someone asks me, right, the same example about not doing dinners. If someone says to me, let's go for dinner, I say, I can't do dinners, I don't do dinners anymore. But how about this? How about we have lunch on Saturday? Or how about we jump on a video call and catch up? Like whatever, right? If you want to, you don't have to, right? Because you can't provide alternatives to everyone. But if you want to, you can always provide an alternative, right? This is, like a few years ago when I quit drinking, this was a big one for me. Because I used to say to my friends, look, I don't want to come out because I don't drink. I'm trying not to drink anymore. Why don't you, like, can we do lunch? Can we hang out in the daytime? And the people that care about you, they will. They'll work to your needs because they care about you and they know you'll do the same for them, okay? So this is the thing. This brings me to number 5. Number 5 is, if not the most important, is just to realize that saying no does not make you a bad person. Saying no does not make you a bad person. Because You only have so much time in a day, so much energy in a day. Both of those in your daily, are finite. These are finite resources, your time and your energy. So no matter how big your heart is, no matter how much you want to allocate your time and resources to people's requests, you can't be there for everyone. And you especially cannot afford to be there at the expense of your own priorities, because then you just won't be happy. Okay? So to summarize these 5 components of a good no: number 1, don't lie or make excuses. Number 2, explain to them why you're saying no and keep it short and sweet. Number 3 is be assertive. You can be polite, but still be assertive with your no. Number 4 is, if you want to, provide an alternative. Provide an alternative. And number 5 is simply realize that saying no does not make you a bad person. It is completely okay. It is very normal. In fact, in most situations, it's the right thing to do. Okay? So that is it for today. I really hope that this helps. If you have any questions or ideas about how to say no graciously, put them in the comments below, because people watching this video, will be looking for the same answers, and your insight, the way that you dealt with a specific situation, could actually help them. Okay? So, I don't have the all-knowing knowledge on everything, right? So please share your insight in the comments below. Okay? Thank you very much for listening. Namaste.